Hey everybody, I'm going to do a short video to help you understand the assignment that's due. It's called the serial problem. It's located in each module. Notice that you have a template that you need to use. So open that template up, and when you do that you'll notice that you have a template that has multiple tabs to go through different parts of the problem. Let's look at the problem real quick. It's found in the textbook. So when you open chapter 1, if you scroll down on the left, you can eventually find the problem and go to it really quickly. It's called the serial problem, Kate's cards. So this is where you can locate it for chapter 1. Chapter 2 is a little bit more detailed. It's got a series of transactions that you have to journalize and then post to the journal ledger and then do a trial balance. If you go ahead and do the assignments for homework first and then you read the chapter and all that, you shouldn't have too much trouble. You should at least be ready to start this problem. However, there is some assistance for this. If I select go to course, and then I have to go to chapter 2. So if I scroll down, there's chapter 1 at the bottom right, and then you have to go to the next chapter. Now there's some e-lectures that you might find useful on this, and also there's some guided examples. Specifically, the comprehensive problem might be useful. Now first of all, remember we have to do chapter 1 first. So when you go to the chapter 1 tab, you'll notice that this is a series of questions that they ask you. So I want to make sure that you're clear on this. Make sure you are complete, you're specific, you use proper spelling and grammar. Make sure that you reference any sources that you might have used if that's the case, especially if you go outside the textbook. And remember, don't plagiarize. It's very easy to catch plagiarism, and if you plagiarize something for any of the part of this problem, you get a 0 for the entire problem. The incident is reported to the dean. So I don't think that should happen. So make sure that you just submit your own work. If you submit your things in your own words, then you're going to be fine. But make sure they're complete and you check the spelling and grammar. And I think that's enough on that one. For chapter 2, part A is journal entries. So you do the journal entry for each one. Here's where you put the account that you're going to use, and then you put the dollar amount as a debit on the left or credit on the right. And then you put a short description here. Doesn't have to be much for a description, just at the most a sentence or a short sentence or a short phrase really. You'd be surprised in the real world how many times when you look up what happened, that little short description comes in handy. And then you need to take the information that occurred in the journal entries and post them to the ledgers. So notice that you have T accounts as your ledger, and you have more lines than you need. So you don't need to fill up all the lines. You just need to use what you need. And there's more lines in the first section just because cash has the most transactions. And I gave you a little check figure there for cash. And then the other accounts, I don't have near as many lines because they don't have as many transactions going on. You don't have a lot going on for supplies or prepaid either. The reason they have so many lines is because I wanted them to line up with cash. So don't think more into that. Okay, so once you get the journal entries posted to the journal ledger, T accounts, then you take the balance and you go and you move that into part C, which is the trial balance. You need to put this in the right order, so make sure you list your accounts out in the right order. And then you do your debit and credit balance. So you just need the balance. So whatever the balance totaled for each of these, you just move over. So cash, is going to end up being a debit balance of $4,900. So wherever the cash goes here, you put the cash account and the trial balance, and then you just put the ending balance of $4,900. Then all this should add up, and your debit should equal your credits. That's what a trial balance is all about. And I don't want you to put the number here. I want you to use an Excel formula to sum up what happened in this column. In other words, we would never in the real world use a calculator to calculate the total debits and credits. We would instead use Excel function, like an auto sum function, to determine what the totals are here. And I gave you another check figure to help you know what they should be. Okay, so once you do that, submit it, and you'll be good for your first week's assignment with Kate's cards.